Right. So this this channel is going to be this is kind of just like an introduction. It's not going to be super long, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing on this channel, and I'll of course just have a background game. Because in the end, this is mainly just going to be probably background sound for people. I don't have any visual representation of anything I'm saying. This is all just me talking. So I'm not going to be doing this every single day like I do on my other channel of video games. And right now, that's just Minecraft that I'm truly enjoying. Monster Hunter Rise will be coming back, of course. It's just ran out of things to do. Not truly, but anyways, getting off topic. So this channel, Protherian, is going to be about my MC, my main character, that I pretty much grew up coming up with the story itself. It evolved over the years, of course, but it is a fantasy with a little bit of science fiction thrown into the mix. Not too much like space ships traveling throughout the universe. It doesn't really go into that. It's more on the magic side of things. And the main portion of the story, for the most part, is going to be taking on a planet called Prothor, and we're going to be following my character AKEADA Shaiken throughout this whole thing. I'm not the greatest at explaining things, so I'm going to be doing my absolute best, and I will be going through a whole lot more detail into the characters. This time around, I did a little bit of a story time on my Twitch a while back. I think I still have those videos up on my other channel. I'll probably be taking those down and retelling the story with a little bit of changes here and there, trying to go into more detail about everything, pretty much everything. So right now, this is just the introduction, telling you what the story is going to be about, what it's going to, stuff like that. I'll of course go talk about more of the systems that are in place in the thing. Now, I will say, when I was coming up with all this, this was set in a kind of like a game style because I was reenacting it in the backyard growing up. This is where I would pretty much escape to, I guess you could say. And I would spend hours upon hours just outside alone doing this. I enjoyed it. It was a big part of my life, but I really passionate about it, I guess you could say. Very much so. It's my phone. Where is my phone? I don't know where my phone is. Let's hope it doesn't go off again. Anyways, so again, this is going to be taking place on Prothor. I'll be going more into the Prothor planet itself, but I will say it is a massive planet. The story takes place before the universe itself was born, and everything was contained into one singular point. And that point is a planet called Prothor that contains absolutely everything. I'll go into more again about what's on Prothor, how it is. And no, there is no stars in the sky because again, it's just pure black. But everything, not everything, but majority of a lot of plants and stuff on Prothor are bioluminescent. That includes the life forms. And there's primarily no other life form other than plants and funguses and stuff like that. It everybody there that you see will be a plant person. August is a plant person, his tribe's a plant person, the monsters you fight or he fights will be plant people, the other tribes, plant, different kinds of plants, like that. A lot of plants, I know. I know. What else? So we covered what it's going to be about, where it's taking place. Now, I will say I'll go a little bit more into detail about Prothor. Again, it contains everything that the universe we know it is made out of, so it's complete, just a massive planet. And so the gravity you can imagine is heavy. The G forces on the planet are heavy. I can't tell you, like per se, 'cause I don't actively know, but it is heavy. And the life forms you can say are kind of like dark matter life forms. I'm trying to think. The planet people there, yeah, are dark matter fused in with regular, and inside the planet itself, where you would usually find a core, there's no real core under the main crust of the planet itself. It is a war raging inside the planet of matter and antimatter, just slamming into each other. So there are cracks of energy spewing out of the planet itself. So as you can imagine, at the very end, the planet is going to go boom because it's taking place before the universe we know it. So yeah, but that's way off. Of course, the planet gets more and more active as it goes until there is only one matter that remains, matter or antimatter. So you would ask, what is the crust itself made out of? Again, it is dark matter. It is what's holding everything together. So they're purely dark matter beings, plants and stuff like that. You know, so it's gonna be interesting. It took me a while to actually work up the nerve to even tell the story. I was struggling to even do it on Twitch. It's mainly just me getting my own way. But I am stopping that and I am going to go through with it. Every week I will be putting out a video here on this channel about the story. I'm doing one a week because, again, I gotta not really come up with what to say. Well, I guess come up with what to say, yeah. But to clarify, I don't have this written down really anywhere. It's still all in my head. I remember from point A to point B where I left off telling the last story. Like last time when I was actually going through it, where I left off was I was saying I could have gotten impaled with a spear. I still remember that. So things will be, for anybody who is returning that remembers me going through and telling those stories, things will probably change a little bit, but the core will still be the same. The path will still be the same. But some things may change a little bit because I'm trying to go into more detail how I see it in my head as I imagine it. So yeah. Anyways, I am rambling about stuff. Again, this is going to be a story about my MC, AKEADA. The logo that you see is pretty much his soul. There will be more soul stuff way later on that kind of clarifies why the logo is what it is. And yeah, there are a lot of influences that has helped that I can use for demonstrations, like if I'm struggling to say stuff. There are a lot of references I can go with. Now, I will say, I was amazed to find out that the way I set this all up was very reminiscent of D&D, and I had no idea what D&D was until later in my life. D&D sounds fun. And if somebody does want to use this whole thing in a D&D tabletop game, that would be fantastic. That'd be phenomenal. Anyways, that's really it. It's a fantasy story, a little sci-fi here and there. That's one. Two, the time, place that take place is before the birth of the universe, where everything is contained into a single point, which is called Prothor. And yeah, I'll go into more detail about everything. I think next time we'll talk more about the planet itself, where it's going to be taking place, and stuff like that. So that's for next week. Next Monday, I'm going to try to do it every Monday. And again, there won't be any real visual representation that I can show you. I don't have any. Maybe later on, once we start getting bigger and things start taking off, I can actually get that going for us. But until then, we'll just have little games in the background and me talking. So I'm happy to be background sound. Yeah, everybody, thank you. This is the start of my new channel. Should be fun. A little nervous. Very nervous. Not a little nervous. Very nervous. Anyways, take care. Be well. I am rambling. Have a wonderful rest of your day.